Why would you learn handstand press by doing handstand push-ups? Why is he looking backwards? 2 years for handstand press. Geek Climber is a master of physics and math. Yet his progress is slowed down by a simple thing: muscle mass. And now sit tight, because he knows this issue.
There's a limit on how much strength potential there is per muscle. Therefore, increasing muscle mass becomes a solution to increasing the overall strength output to take ourselves to the next level.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Just hanging around.
For the first day, I decided to just try it out and see how it felt like. I decided to search for how to muscle up on YouTube and go through as many of them as possible.
Why not to watch those tutorials before actually trying it? But anyways, it doesn't matter if Geek Climber watched them or not. The result is still the same.
Now when it comes to muscle up,
The first mistake I discovered is my thumbs were on the top of the bar instead of wrapping around the bar.
Damn guys, for the first time in the history, he watched them. Nice. You can do muscle-ups even with thumbs on the bar, but I wouldn't recommend it because your hands can slip this way more easily.
It felt better, but I still couldn't get up. I thought to myself that maybe it was because I never consciously tried to rotate my wrist to make the transition.
You won't be able to do the transition if you can't pull yourself high enough. And generally high pull-ups to the chest would be enough when you are starting your muscle-up journey.
After a few
Here you can see the missing pushing strength.
I went back through the tutorials about how to muscle up, and one of the tips that caught my attention was engaging the chest. And I was able to muscle up without the band for the first time. I checked the replay and realized I was unconsciously doing the infamous chicken wing muscle up.
Don't tell me that he needed a replay to realize that. And also this chest engagement thing, I wouldn't suggest you to do it because this causes only problems in my opinion. Basically, if you have to do it this aggressively, you are not ready for the actual muscle up.
But I could never find a moment to turn both of my wrists at the same time.
That's why you should use a little bit of that false grip.
Maybe it was not a technique problem.
I would say that it was combination of both, but mainly the technique. The so hardcore technique like many guys make from it is that you will grab the bar shoulder width apart, swing just a little bit forward, and when you will go back, you will start to explosively pulling up with hollow body. Not arched back, hollow body. You need to create that C-shaped path. When your chest is about to be at the same level as the bar, you will quickly pull the bar to you and you have your first muscle up.
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Maybe I just don't have enough pull power. But how could that be? I have been doing a pull dominant sport, rock climbing, for many years.
Climbing won't get you explosive power, I think.
And I could do 10 pull-ups in a row without a problem. Without a problem. And then I realized he was keeping his knees pretty hard, whereas my lower body was just loosely hanging. 1, 2, 3.
So basically this video was: this average guy learns CrossFit muscle up in 35 days.
On day 1, I honestly thought I made it in my first few tries. But when I went back home and reviewed the footage, I realized my legs were not completely together and I slightly bent my knees subconsciously on the way up.
This is the problem I had too, because I was so used to helping myself with legs, which later on made doing clean muscle ups really hard, even though I had the strength.
Here's why. During the start of the position, the torque around the knees generated by the muscles of the upper body and the upper legs cancels out the opposite torque around the knees generated by weight of the upper body and upper legs.
Did anybody understand it?
Likewise, the torque generated by the muscles of the lower legs and the weight of the lower legs cancels out each other.
I'm done.
No! It's easier and it will help me build up the foundation strength for achieving a bar muscle up without tipping.
It is easier if you can hold yourself with false grip, otherwise impossible.
Today I'm gonna try the push part of the ring muscle up.
You gotta be kidding me. There's no way. Well, I know that doing dip on rings is harder, but one dip? Easy answer for that. Climbing.
I decided to go through as many ring muscle up tutorials as I could on YouTube.
Why he didn't do it in the first place?
Oh, second dip. Oh, very intense on the pack.
Injury coming.
On day 18, while I was working on the transition,
Even though I have far from being a master on rings, I don't like them. I tried a few times doing a muscle up on them, and the thing with transition is simple. Don't stop and just run through it. You can rest then in the dip position, but once you stop before that, it will be so much harder.
I absolutely have to achieve at least one iconic elite calisthenics move before my physical prime is over.
Geek Climber uses this quite a lot, but still there are guys in their 40s or 50s which are way stronger than me. Well, everybody's stronger than me.
As usual, I started by watching as many warm pull-up tutorial videos on YouTube as possible. And to be honest, all of them are terrible. There are zero technique breakdowns.
What technique breakdowns do you want? You see how the archer pull-up should be done? And what more do you want?
I started out by measuring roughly how much force was still missing in order to do the one-arm pull-up. That means I'm missing at least 15 pounds of force and at most 30 pounds of force.
Okay, but that number is for what? You will train the same way even if you wouldn't know it. By the way, the form is terrible.
As you can all predict, eventually I injured my shoulders. Training non-optimally is still better than zero training. I trained for more than 150 days.
Here you can see the biggest mistake you can do in a one-arm pull-up. We all know that the normal pull-up looks like this. You are completely straight. But if you will take off one hand, the physics will obviously change. And so you will need to, from a dead hang, rotate your body to one side. Geek Climber here has already done that, which I would say is bad because even the rotation can generate momentum and therefore doing the move easier. The main problem here is that doing one-arm pull-up with arched back is impossible mission. You need to be first in the whole body position and secondly, be as close to your arm as possible.
The main muscle preventing me from going up further was the serratus anterior.
Okay, so from this point, if you can't do a one-arm pull-up, it's not your biceps or forearm muscles. No.
On day 300, somehow, someway, I discovered the most important technique of doing the one-arm pull-up. You want to pull yourself up and back during the first half of the movement.
Guys, please, don't do this. I beg you.
This allows you to engage the big lat muscles instead of relying on small weak muscles like the serratus anterior.
It's biceps.
On day 390, this happened.
I'm not sure if your chin is really over the bar, dude.
Fortunately, I had another camera set up in another angle. So watch this.
This is even a worse angle.
And seeing how many people are frustrated by the one-arm pull-up, I fully believe I can charge and make some money for all this information. But hey, these are all now yours for free.
They were always free. Trust me, they were. So what we have learned. Being a master of physics and math is good, but when you lack a common sense and refuse to follow steps that have been shown in tutorials, your journey will be so much harder, longer and maybe painful. Not mentioning his muscles, which are the biggest problem, but not for dynamics. So guys, what you think? Part 3? Let me know in the comment section down below.